Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Napoleon Total back with some Shogun 2 Fall the Samurai Scramble for the Far East mod, and we are playing as the Qing. In the last turn, we did the bloody sieges of Seoul, the battles of Wunjin and Yagaguchi, the Battle of Yagaguchi, my bad. And now we are just at the end of the last turn, and in the next turn, which is our current, which is what you see on screen, the United Kingdom built their first railroad, so good for them. A good thing is that we're currently allied with them, so that's the only good thing that is coming out of it. There are more troops moving to the border. There's an enemy army on the battlefield, so yeah. So I'm just gonna destroy them off the bat, and because they're a traditional army, it's gonna be quickly auto-resolvable. I'm gonna quick save just in case, and well, yeah, the casualties are still not in our favor. We're losing a lot of troops, but yeah, we annihilated an entire enemy army. Obviously, if I was commanding, that wouldn't happen. We're gonna be taking some winter attrition in Japan. We're gonna move on to Aki, and people are unhappy in Japan. But back in Korea, everything is going not so well. There are Korean armies left and right, and yes, our fleet is being blockaded in Japan. Well, there's not a lot of Korean armies, it's just that just managing the provinces is a problem. What else is going on? Some places are straight outright unhappy, so I have to take care of them. Yes. So I'm trying to just manage the public order in these provinces. Eventually, I'll find out that public order is not really needed in this mod for some reason. And don't get me wrong, public order is still a problem, but just not too a big problem. We're gonna go and siege Gunchun, and we're just gonna straight outright continue the siege. And what else is going on? Oh yes, as you can see on the map, the United States, the French. The French is on the north. The United States is the red, the dark red, the pure red, and the south is where the starting home base of Satsuma and Chosu. The southern island, I call it the most southern island of Japan, is basically held mostly by the Netherlands. Everything that you see on the map that is yellow is me. So yes, that's the only good thing. We're expanding, but at what cost I do not know. Anyway, there's still that fleet in the background that I am currently being blockaded. The last battle was for my navy was kind of a victory, but now my fleet is just stuck there. There's nothing much I can really do in my current situation, so yes. The Joseon Kingdom comes back with an army. The Tokugawa wants a peace treaty. If I give them this much money, so yeah, they're not willing to do that, and I am not interested to do that. I'm not interested to give them peace because I want their lands. Although our army is kind of stretched thin in Japan, the Tokugawa and the Hiroshima, which are to their, well, the Hiroshima are to our right. The Tokugawa are just literally on an island. Yeah. I am trying to get as many troops to the battlefronts as possible, but the problem is there is a Korean army. It is mostly made up of cavalry with some good infantry, so that is kind of somewhat scary. There are more troops in West Goryeo, but there's nothing much I can do about that. I am taking winter attrition, and this army is starting to heal up, but it's just gonna straight outright take time. This army, whatever is in North Gongwon, is not going to hold if an enemy assault comes, which, well, it is going to hold, depends on how I command my troops, but hopefully I do not want to fight a land battle in Gongwon. I'm going to send my ships back after they successfully did their escort missions, and we're going to prepare to assault Aki. So yes, that's that. We're gonna move our troops into this place just to make the people of Seoul happy. And I'm just gonna wait for replenishment because this is my army with logistics. Qing is also my faction leader, so that's a good thing. However, I am starting to see a problem with him. Yeah. with him, like, if he's the only general with logistics, that means we need to start upgrading our generals quick. Not that I've been fighting a lot of battles, but most of the battles were fought by him, so that's a problem. The Netherlands, who are also against our joining our wars, are attacking a Takashima force, and yep, they decided to help out, so that's a good thing. As you can see, here is the Dutch fleet. This is a 24-gun ship, sloop of war, and it's pretty good looking. Good looking in all terms of regards, especially off the back. You have the cabin quarters, or the captain quarters, as we the cabin quarters or the captain quarters. It's depending how you call it. And this is a sloop. Behind that, you have another sloop. This one is slightly bigger with 26 guns. However, one of the guns is disabled, and there's no captain's brick, captain's bunk, captain's space, or whatever. There's no back part of the line, so we are looking at some. It's purely a warship, while the first one was somewhat luxurious. But anyway, this is what the Dutch have. My fleet is 2 ships, but one of the ships, which you can see in the background, is just stuck. It's stuck, and then you have my river boat, which okay. This is a traditional ship. The official name is a traditional ship, but most of these ships that I can relate to history is not the. These are like river boats for the Chinese Navy. And by the way, for those that were interested in knowing, the Chinese didn't really focus on their navy. So yes, that's that. And then you have the Japanese Navy, our enemies, who literally have this massive bune, which is a medium ship. And yeah, that is pretty. It's pretty big. Like it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yes. While on the other hand, you have this Kotoya. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yes, this is yeah, this is a light ship, but it's mounted with matchlocks, so yes, that's that. Most of the Kotoya is obviously a smaller ship. And so yes, the battle is gonna begin with this ship opening fire. It already has opened fire. I didn't get to get this in. As you can see, I think as you can see, the Dutch Marines on board of the ships are actually moving through the riggings, and they're gonna go onto their masts and start firing on the poor bastards. I mean, the poor people who are manning the enemy ships. Yeah, the enemy is firing arrows, which is already a problem, because, how do I put it, in a nice way, arrows against cannons, that is pretty useful, guys. What else is going on? Oh yes, we are getting pretty dang close. At this point, whoever fires just one round is just gonna decimate most ships. So yes. As you can see, that my fleet is not even trying. My fleet is not even in range. So I actually want the Dutch to help me win this battle. So as you can see, the Dutch are trying desperately to open fire. And yeah, and I think it opens fire. Well, it opened fire before, but we're trying to see. Oh, yeah. Then this ship does a very good tactic called a rolling shot, and it's basically have your guns fire one by one. And the reason why that's such a good idea is literally because literally. You don't want all your guns firing at the same time, because if that does happen, then your ship might tilt in a terrible way. What else is going on? Oh yes, this ship is the enemy ship is just trying to do, I don't know what they're doing. The Marines are opening fire, so that's a good thing. And yes, so yes, that's that. Once again, we get to somewhat open fire. And no, we don't. Well, at this point, the enemy ship runs away, I think. And the second it runs away, we're not just gonna open fire because the Dutch don't open fire, but I'm trying to desperately chase on. But I don't really succeed. Anyway, we win the battle. For some reason, one of my ships disappeared, the one that was stuck. And the Dutch promptly finished them off. And to make it better for me, the Koreans sally out. Now, it's a good thing for me because because most of this army is made up of cavalry, and therefore I'm pretty much gonna annihilate their entire army on the battlefield. I just have to defeat the first 2 waves, and I'll be fine. What is going on? Oh yes. In the first front ranks, you can see some of my ships. Well, not ships, my troops. My bad. And behind them you can see the massive cavalry force, which is wonderful. As you can see in the distance, well, yeah, you can hear in the distance, my bad, that there is some artillery fire, but yeah, anyway, it's mostly from the enemy garrison artillery, but anyway, you can see the enemy levies are just trying to move up, and then when they actually do move up, I'm gonna annihilate them by literally having my cavalry charge in. Obviously, I'm not gonna charge them head on. So yes. As you can see, the enemy has a lot of these Pudao Pass spearmen. Okay, for those that are wondering what the heck is a Pudao is basically like a Naginata. It's my best interpretation. Like, if for those that play Three Kingdoms, it's a warglaive. It's a warglaive. So yeah. But besides them, we have some archers and some levy swordsmen. My bad. The ones wearing white and black armor. The ones wearing white and black are the levy swordsmen, and yeah, the other one is obviously the archers. As you can see here in this scene, my cavalry is moving to the flank, and at first I thought that was gonna help the enemy. Well, that was gonna help me in sort of dividing the enemy's strength, which is way better for me. But ends up it was not, so it didn't really do anything. As you can see here, the enemy is trying to assault our lines, and once again we have this wonderful hill, so that negates the enemy's gun advantage. And now we're just trying to essentially just rush in. Our guys are firing arrows, so that's gonna soften the attack up. And finally, I decided to send in my white border banner units, and we're gonna straight outright just charge in into some levy swordsmen. And these levy swordsmen are not a match. If the guard swordsmen are not even a match, then these levy swordsmen are definitely no match. On the other side, we see that we're fighting some Pudao Pass spearmen and some levies. The Pudao Pass spearmen are pretty good, but they're not so good when not braced, and they're not braced in this situation. For those that don't know, brace basically means that the enemy is preparing and waiting for you. So yeah, they're not braced. So I'm also on the entire front. I am attacking. In the back ranks, I am literally charging my cavalry in to kill anyone I physically can. And while this time, my cavalry also is mounted Manchu Lancers, for those who don't know by now. These guys are basically just mounted archers on horseback, and they do a lot of damage, even if they're not attacking. And yeah, they're just gonna fire their bows, and if when needed, I'm just gonna have them charge in. At this point, it's pretty much become a slaughter. The Korean army is just getting routed on the battlefield, and to make it worse, the Koreans are literally panicking, which gives me even more kills, so that's wonderful. This garrison army is pretty much doomed. We've lost 200, while the enemy lost their entire 1,000 man garrison. The Korean army decides to attack in the winter, and to make it even better for me, they're taking winter attrition, so that's good. Is there anything else that is going on? Oh no. Quartermaster report, and great. We are deploying more mounted Manchu Lancers in North. Yeah, good. This is good. I just need to get an army here. Yes, this army is scary, but not as scary as you think, because they will be attacking a settlement, and this settlement has been heavily garrisoned and repaired by my guys, so it should be fine. As you can see, at this point, I'm starting to believe the Koreans don't have a lot of troops, which is good for me, because I'm just gonna be going down south, and then after that, we'll be fine. I'm trying to select the units that I don't want to take on the garrison duties, and I'm just gonna send them to north. Yeah, I can also deploy 2 more units, but I decided to go for. Should I go for archers? Yes, I should go for archers. So yes, we are somewhat ready. For the engagement that is about to begin. But anyway, in Japan, our army is going to be attacking Asaki. There is an enemy reinforcement army, but I decided to do a night attack, and yeah, the enemy reinforcement army is not scary, so I was deciding whether to do a night attack or not do an attack. It is really the problem of, do I want to annihilate them all in one battle? But I decided, you know what, I'm going to do the night attack because it looks cool. So yes, when has Napoleon total ever looked cool? Well, actually no, when has Napoleon total ever cared about being cool? Like, literally, warfare itself is pretty cool, but yeah. For those that are wondering, warfare during this time, any warfare during this time is pretty bloody. Like, no matter, like, during the Napoleonic Wars, you literally have men dressed in all sorts of fancy uniforms, but like, literally, it still doesn't take away from the fact that warfare is very bloody. Anyway, the enemy fortress is basically hilltop fort, and basically that means that an outer wall and an inner wall, and that's it. This is pretty interesting. The enemy keep, or I find the dojo, the keep, is this one, and I just found out that this image is literally used on the end screen for most of the Total War battle, so that's interesting. So yes, that's that. Our guys are gonna assault, and as you can hear, as of this point, the enemy is opening fire with their guns. The good thing for them is the good thing for me is that the enemy are using guns from 300 years ago, so not a lot of men are gonna drop compared to European guns. However, the only problem is that my men are so clumped up that every shot is gonna be a kill. So that's a problem. Well, almost every shot is gonna be a kill. Yes. We're gonna just charging straight towards the. We're gonna charge straight towards the gate. Why am I blinking out? What the freak? We're gonna charge towards gate into the keep, and then we're just gonna try to slaughter them all. As you can see, my artillery is helping out somewhat. However, my guys are still clumped up here. Besides the fact that this is winter, which means we will be taking more fatigue. Yes. To make it worse for me, the second rank is already filled with guys. The second keep is already filled with guys aiming matchlocks at me. The good thing about this fortress is that it's small. The bad thing about this fortress is because it's small, there's gonna be a lot of people at one place. So that's gonna be a big problem. We are gonna be fighting this battle, and the enemy general, I'm trying to get him out of this. I'm gonna try to get him out, but I decided, you know what, screw it, it's not worth it. The enemy general somewhat charges me, but I decided, you know what, we're just gonna prepare ourselves to scale the walls. But when I was about to, the enemy general charges on me, and then it returns, which is a smart decision. And on the other side, we're just slaughtering this poor militia unit, which we're doing quite a good job. The enemy is firing guns at me, but they're also getting friendly fire because our it's so close. And so that's that. And yeah, we are doing a pretty good job against them. Our guys are finally, well, not our guys on the other side are finally, we destroyed the gate, and our guys on the other side are trying to engage the spear levy. The spear levy, although it looks like they're getting a lot of kills, they're not at any at any choice. They're getting quite terrible kills. It was pretty sad. This Spear Levy essentially gets annihilated. The enemy general is actually doing not that bad, but then you have to realize the enemy general is probably one of their best units. So yes. What is going on? Okay, here in this situation, we're just charging for the second gate, and we're just gonna go in and go straight for the reserves. I'm going straight for the reserves and not trying to get these guys out because I was hoping that these guys, well, I was fearing that these guys would generally shoot at me if I go for the second wall, so I decided to have these guys go for the second wall while the rest of my army tries to cliff the wall, which is not a bad idea. And yes, that's that. Yes. We are winning in this situation, but because the enemy army is just so massive, it is gonna take us a long time to get through these guys. It's just, this battle is gonna be very bloody in the sense that we have to kill essentially every single one of them, and that was not a good sight for me or for the enemy. I took a lot of losses in the sense that most of my men at the end of this battle were tired, but I didn't lose that many men. So yes. Right here you can see more troops just pouring in and killing as much as we physically can. All across the board, our guys are winning, but we're making a massive dent. But we are also getting very tired in the attack, and therefore you can see some men dropping left and right, which is a problem. And yes, that's a problem. Behind him, I'm just trying to rush in more men, and at this point I'm a little bit surprised that my guys haven't put the walls, which I've ordered them multiple times to do. So yes, that's a problem. The enemy militia on the walls are getting kills, but I'm just trying to do my best, because this battle was pretty bloody in all terms and all regards. So yes, that's that. Once again, this bloody melee fight is going my way, because not only because my men are trained from birth to fight in this, our guys are literally also having this massive heavy armor. It's gonna stop the enemy from hitting my men, but my men are doing terrifically well. As you can see, you can see some of the banners. The one that you see on the right is the Imperial banner for the Qing. The two other ones that are identical is literally the ones of the white border banners to be exact. If it was a white banner unit, it would just be entirely white and then with no red border, and that's how I can tell it's a white border banner. So yes, that's that. Our guys are still winning, so yes. At this point, my men are exhausted. We are within the reach of the enemy's guns, and we're gonna be taking out the enemy's guns. For those that are wondering, all you need to do to take out the guns is to hit a horse, and then that's it. That is literally it. So that is pretty dang interesting. We are trying to take out the rest of the enemy infantry. Our guys are just swarming at them, literally like ants. But at this point, I can, almost every siege that I've known, unless the attackers are outnumbered, the attacker is literally swarming the enemy like ants. So that's interesting. We've won on this sector. My men are cheering, but I have to get them back to the other sector because, yeah, there's a lot of enemies that I still haven't taken care of. One of them is this militia that has lined up during the process, and they're going to be opening fire. They're just going to get 1 or 2 shots off before I just straight outright charge in. And the second they stop firing, I'm just gonna charge them all in, and that's that. Whew. This is a really bloody battle once again. So yes. As you can see, these guys absolutely stand no chance, so that is why I'm just destroying so many of them so quick. Yep. It is not a good sight for these guys. However, with this unit gone, well, almost gone, you have only these few guys left. You do have this enemy commander who is wearing this, well, he's dead now. And after that, you just have a few guys left and right, so I'm gonna do that. And, yep. Eventually, we're just gonna charge through this dojo. And we're gonna start the cap, but I decided, you know what, just screw it. At this point, we are so far in that I decided to straight outright go for the final unit, which is a mortar team. Literally, it is literally a mortar team, and you can kind of see that in right here. This mortar team is trying to fight for their lives, which I do not blame them. But at this point, it's game over for them.
The men tire, sir. They require rest.
And as the last of these guys fall, we are gonna win. So I like how this guy is trying to encourage my guys to attack him, and when we do attack, he's dead. There's one last guy left, and then after he's dead, we start cheering because we've taken this settlement. Yeah, that was a pretty bloody attack for both sides. Really, pretty much for me, because now my army has to rest again. That does mean there is a small enemy army outside, but it doesn't really matter. I can potentially auto-resolve, but I'm more interested to have my guys wait. I'm gonna move my artillery pieces out because we don't know if the AI is smart enough to attack me. So yes. Elsewhere, I am dealing with population issues. I don't know whether the Dutch are gonna support me in the attack, but I'm just gonna see if the Dutch are at war with the they're only at war with the Tokugawa, so Hiroshima they are not at war with, so that's a problem. Because I just destroyed another Hiroshima army on the battlefield. That is gonna help my situation. However, it is also a problem because this navy is a problem. Not that a navy matters, but stuff like that. Elsewhere, we are in North Gangwon. This army right here is taking winter attrition, and to some degrees, I am actually not concerned about my army because technically, if they do attack, it's gonna be suicide. I am getting more troops to meet up, but however, I don't think the enemy is gonna be stupid enough to attack, and if they are, I am gonna annihilate them. So, not really much of a choice. Elsewhere, I'm just trying to do province management. Nothing really much. And yeah, there's nothing really much. In Japan, however, my fleet is trying to get back because I have to get some generals onto these ships and I'm gonna transport them to Japan. And after that, that's that. Or I can just deploy the navy and then yeah. Yeah, I do have some troops left and right, but I'm trying to see what units I can take off of province management. I'm gonna disband these units because if I transport them, I might as well just build them in Japan. So yeah. This enemy army is a pain to deal with. I'm sorry, this enemy army is not a pain to deal with, the Tokugawa army, but I'm just seeing what the Hiroshima have, which they don't really have a lot. That is why, yeah, I'm just gonna be building units here. So yes, just to boost up my numbers in Japan, because this will definitely not be our first, nor will it be our last battle in Japan. So that's gonna be interesting. Anyway, the Joseon, the Korean army decides to retreat, which is not a bad idea. And so does the Hiroshima army. So yes, that's that. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this episode. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.